How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Daves-Raves, where I'll be reviewing the sky with Grinch. These have three movies, which is kind of insane when you think about it. You have the one from 2018 starring Benedict Cumberbatch and, it's the only voice actor I know from that one. You got the original one, and you've also got the Jim Carrey one from 2000. The first one came out in 1966, mind you. So that's an old-ass movie. So yeah, and then Jim Carrey's came out in 2000, and this new one came out in 2018. So what y'all telling me is the first Grinch movie did pretty damn good, considering it took them 50 years to make a new one. 50 years or 54 years or whatever. Or 53 years, probably. I wonder if that's why he's been up on Mount Crumpet so long. That's how long it took them to make another damn movie. So, we are going to rank these movies from the worst to the best. And we're going to be starting off at number 3. Now, it's another one you think. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to rank the very first Grinch movie at number 3. I'm not that kind of a monster. I'm ranking the newest one at number 3 with Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a great actor. I love him as Doctor Strange. But he just didn't bring the energy that the Grinch did, that Jim Carrey did in the live action one. I mean, come on, bro. You're animated. Put some more emotion into your voice. Just saying. I mean, he put a hell of a lot of depression in his voice, which I guess fit the theme of his movie, which was he was lonely, which is the reason why he hates Christmas. I guess that's a relatable reason to hate Christmas. When you spend it at an orphanage and you walk out of the orphanage and you see everybody's their families, so he walked away and walked out to Mount Crumpet. My question is how new of an acquisition is his dog, Max? We never get an age for the little fella. And if the Grinch has been up in the mountains for 53 years, which he does state in the movie, and he was like 8 when he went up to Mount Crumpet, so he's like, what, 60 in the movie? 65, 66 years old or whatever? I'm not good at math, sue me. Literally. You can't get none. I'm broke, bitch. I did like the Cindy Lou Who plotline though. She was adorable. I did like the single mother aspect of the movie where she was the mom was a single mother, raising a pair of twins and her. And Cindy Lou Who. And she was a great mom. She works as hard as she can during the night, and during the daytime she's up there with her kids, taking care of the babies and little Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou says she's gonna go deliver a letter to North Pole, and she's like, okay, see you in a month. And Cindy Lou's like, what? It takes a month to walk to the North Pole? She's like, I'm good. It'll probably take my chubby butt a little longer than that to get up there. Just saying. But in the movie, she seemed like she had a sweet mom. And all Cindy Lou wants for Christmas is for her mom to be happy. Which I thought was pretty sweet and pretty adorable, So I give the movie credit for that. And then, what kind of struck me as odd there is after the Grinch still stole all the Christmas gifts and all the things like he usually does, she still thinks it was the Grinch. She still thinks it was Santa because she trapped him upside down with a cookie. She set a very elaborate trap for Santa, so she could have a face-to-face meeting with him to ask him for her present, which was her mother's happiness. Her mama does everything for everyone else. So the Grinch returns all the gifts after He's had time to think and almost dies. He literally falls off the ledge of the cliff because the mountain breaks on him. But he's saved by a goat or a reindeer, the reindeer's wife, and the reindeer's baby, and Max. They all start pulling him up together. And then the Grinch goes down, gives back the gifts, walks away, kind of sad and depressed again. So it's best this way at one point. I said, kind of a depressing Grinch, man. But when Cindy Lou comes up to the Grinch's house and invites him to Christmas dinner, he's like, but I stole everything. I stole your Christmas gifts. I stole your trees. I stole your food. She's like, yeah, I know. But we still want you to come. And she says, you've been lonely long enough. Which kind of got to me a little bit. I'm like, huh, that's sweet. And that actually got the Grinch's to change his mind too about how he viewed everything. So this movie, even though I'm ranking it so low, it had the perfect amount of Cindy Lou in it. Unlike our number 2 option, which has the Jim Carrey version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, we're ranking Jim Carrey's at number 2. But number 2 is not far from number 1, right? Jim Carrey just brings out his charm in this movie. He brings out his whole goofiness 100%. Like, nobody can match Jim Carrey's energy. I love Jim Carrey. What can I say? Definitely, he provided a lot of laughs for me, okay? And, you know what? The reason why he doesn't like Christmas in this one is a much more relatable story. He was bullied as a kid by the guy who becomes mayor, ironically enough. He's a pretty big a douche, even as an adult and as a kid. He, as a kid, he liked this one girl named Martha. The Grinch liked Martha, so did the mayor, to be. But the mayor was kind of like a little prick as a kid. He's like, you're 8 years old and you have a beard. So what does the Grinch do? He goes home, does his best job to shave, and he actually makes an angel for Martha, which is really sweet. First time he's ever gotten his Christmas spirit. When he came, he had a bag over his head because, he was hiding his face. Everybody started laughing at him because of all his hack job, shave job. Again, he's 8 years old though, man. Teacher, bite me. You should be ashamed of yourself for laughing at a little boy, okay? So that's why he hates Christmas. Get pretty damn relatable if you ask me. Now this movie could have used just a little bit less of Cindy Lou. Man, they had her in there a good amount. I didn't like that they had her singing in it, though. That one I could have done without. I do like the fact that they brought up that Christmas is just a bunch of commercialism, man. That's what I like about this movie. Is how the Grinch is like, all the things. It's all about commercialism. Even in the movie, how they're all bustling about in the streets, trying to buy Christmas gifts and yada, yada, yada. It's all about competition. It's all about commercialism, about spending money, about blah, 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 blah. And so what it's really about, spending time you love with others. And that's what the holidays is really for. To eat. Well, that's really the only gripe I have with the Jim Carrey version. I personally loved it. It's personally my favorite. Except for the length of the movie. And the amount of, just the length of the movie. Which was an hour and 45 minutes long. Almost a 2 hour long movie. Talked about a lot of fluff. Speaking of fluff, brings me down to our number 1. The original Grinch movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it came out in the year 1966. You know what I love about it? It's the original. No fluff. It's practically lifted from the pages of the book. Short and into the point. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a foul one, Mr. Grinch. The animation was... I liked the animation to it. I liked Boris Karloff narrating it. I mean, how can you beat the original? You can't. I mean, Jim Carrey damn near did a good job at doing it. But even Jim Carrey couldn't save it. But the original is just the best. I mean, that's all I can say to it. I love all the Grinch movies, though, except for that final one. The first one I mentioned, the Benedict Cumberbatch one. They could have really gone without making that one. Really, we only needed 2 of them. But I do look forward to another 15, 20 years from now and seeing what kind of rendition they do of the Grinch then. Again, the live action one is personally my favorite, but the number one, you can't beat you can't beat the first one, which is why it comes in at number 1. Again, my personal favorite is Jim Carrey one, but my other favorite one is also the first one, the original. This one I grew up with, you know? Well, I grew up with both of them, but still, from when I was a baby, I grew up watching the very first one. So the first movie, the original, wins out purely on nostalgia. And guess what? I know all y'all kids who are watching this these days are like, Trust me, kiddos, go back, youngsters, and rewatch the OG one, the original, and you'll be like, I liked it. But until my next movie review, guys, you guys will see which one's gonna be the next one. We don't know. I got a whole list. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. It's not gonna be the Santa Claus movies. I'm telling you why. I've still got to rewatch them. It could be one that's not on my list. It could be Grandma got ran over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You may say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now, anyways, chat though, I'm getting off here, signing off. It's been Daves-Raves. And yeah, make sure you guys have that notification bell ring. That way you guys know when my next movie review comes out. Or my next video, my next rant, my next review, my next hangout stream. You never know what's next on the docket. Until then, Daves-Raves out. And everybody, have an easy one. Peace.